Introduction, Reese-O-Matic. This is episode 50. It is the last of the season that was 2025 AFL. I don't know if I'm sweating because I'm just done. I'm exhausted. I'm rooted, all of the above. But we are... Oh, I'm buggered.
Yeah, we're hanging. We're hanging out right now. We're sweating because of all things weekend, big nights, trying to grind, get everything right. Yeah, and I'm still hurting. I think I've only just come good today.
Yeah. So last couple of days, I haven't been like hungover or anything. I've just been tired.
Tired, man.
I put it into the week that was. So we went down to Melbourne on Tuesday night. I got there. And when did you get there? Oh, same flight. Same flight, and we worked all the way through. The grand final was a work, even though, but like you got to think of the levels that we went through that day. Emotional roller coaster. And then we went out and we launched. We sent it.
We sent it to the moon.
Yeah, sent it to the moon. Turned back the clock.
Like I always say this to people, like, because we don't drink often or anything anymore, barely ever.
Oh.
I said, how often do you win a grand final, let alone your team being in there? So the stars have to align.
It was.
So it's well worth any sort of tiredness, hangover. Like, I'd do it over and over and over and over.
Definitely.
And then, if they get there next year, I'll do it exactly the same, probably bigger. So who knows?
Like if I go 3-peat, I'm doing everything with them throughout the week.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We saw them today, so we just came from the tattoo shop and we bought a couple of things. So we got the TV there, right there. It's got all the cameras hooked up. I got to set up the audio again to that, but. We're doing it, but we went to the tattoo shop. I did a few interviews that will drop probably tomorrow or the day after. Who was in there? Zorks was in there, Froggy, Dizzy, the Big Ticket, Lester, Big O,
Rayner. He doesn't miss tattoos, that bloke. So there was a handful of them in there all getting their tattoos
Shout
done.
out Blood Money.
Some boys didn't get one from last year. They got the double this year. They saved it because they knew they were going back to back, apparently.
You just got to think if they don't make it again next year with the inclusions they're probably going to get, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So
they're in great shape.
They're staring a 3-peat in the face.
And beyond, probably. The way that their list is looking. But,
So, right, give the people at home a little bit of a recap of what Saturday was for you. Because I was with you all the way. But for people at home. And the vlog went out, obviously did very well and stuff, but... we obviously didn't show what happens after. Yeah,
so Saturday, obviously pretty excited, felt pretty fresh for Granny Day. Obviously, big week of work and stuff, kept me a bit quiet on the drinks, which was good.
First time at a Granny not hung and trying to get into it.
First time not hung over at a Granny, so that was great. So cracked the first one about probably 10, and then we linked up, Robbo, me and you at the hotel. It was popping.
Yeah, it was. Shout out to the Pullman in the park.
And then, we were at the game, just, as you do, you see everyone there talking, fans, friends, old friends.
That's why I'm probably buggered because people don't realise we did a big giveaway on the Friday, the day before the game, and like we gave back.
Yeah, we gave plenty back.
So you know what I mean? Like we gave back. We stopped for everyone.
I love it
plenty of photos and stuff.
Because the feedback we got about the podcast and everything was good. It was really nice. So we had to give back. But anyway, obviously the boys roll on in that fashion. So me and you were sitting together sinking cans. And what a win it was. But then. Obviously, afterwards, you're pretty excited. So it's back to the hotel. Big after party at the Pullman.
That was a big after party for a hotel party.
Got to see all the boys, and then the boys sort of wrapped it up there, and it was nightclub time.
Me, you, Kai,
Hippie, Fullo,
Mrs. in the car.
So
even that little drive was fun.
And then it was a big night at the nightclubs, and didn't finish up till early hours the next day.
What were you? I was 5:30 a.m. and I think I was walking the streets doing what Robbo does.
Pretty much no sleep, pretty much rolling in.
Well, I forgot. I picked you up at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you were still up.
Still up and about with pretty much no sleep. And
the good old Nashi, having drinks with Nashi.
Rolling into the airport. And so I mean, it is what it is because it's a great week and you don't see him often. So you got to make the most of it.
All right, let me ask you, you said last year was a blur when you went there? Because I was like, oh, fuck, I haven't done the post-grand final shit.
Yeah.
I've done a few, through, not my team though. Rate it, last year to this year.
Oh, this year was, I don't know. It's hard to say. Last year was a blur because it had been so long and you really wanted to win that and it was just so much excitement and stuff. This year, I felt like I could live it a bit more with the boys so I could sort of remember the nights and the moments and stuff like that. So, last year just got caught up in the excitement of holy shit,
I could tell how that could happen.
But then this year I was sort of like, okay, you've got the experience from last year. You can, go around, talk to everyone. And
it's mad. It's mad to see. I know Melbourne's big footy city, but the amount of people that were like just trying to get involved in it, you know, like it's like so in the past I've been to like grand final after parties and shit.
Yeah.
But like this, it being like around the boys, it's mad.
It's madness, isn't it? I mean, you don't really get to talk to them until after hours when they can sit down and finally take a break.
Get a little booth.
You get your little booth and party with the boys. But it was awesome. Yeah, what a week it was. So, yeah, nightclubs are all hours, as you'd imagine, with the cup photos, plenty of photos, plenty of drinks.
How about, was it Emerson when they cleared the floor?
Yeah, cleared the whole top floor for the boys, and that's when it really got partied. You know, Rayner hit the deck a few times with the cup. I believe he's the one that dented it. Well, he's a raging bull, so
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Wouldn't expect anything less.
It just adds more character to the trophy.
It's perfect.
I want to apologise to everybody. I think it was Emerson. Like the stairs were packed, and we couldn't get the players up, so I went down and just steamrolled.
So you rolled back the clock, wind back the clock.
I had to do it.
You were raging.
I was like, it's Lachie Neale at the bottom of the stairs. Like he can't get up.
Yeah,
I had to go get him. So everyone's like, "What are you doing?" I was like,
but yeah, what a week it was. Like there's so much to recap about it. But
we've got a lot to go through. But we did have to give the people a bit of insight. Just quick talking points. What do you think about the AFLW asking for a gather round during the AFL Grand Final that week? So I saw this post. I don't know what women's player it was, but she said, I think getting everyone to Melbourne would be really fun and it'd be a great way to promote the women's game.
Well, everyone in Melbourne, I mean, everyone's already there.
So cap on that.
I guess you'd probably want the girls over and done with by at least the Wednesday, though. Yeah. At least.
Yeah. Because the footy fest and everything, I actually rated that shit.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. It's honestly great. But yeah, if they wanted to do that, like I'm all for it because it is pumping down there. Everyone's there. It
does get eyes on it, on the AFLW.
And there would be, and people might want to start their footy campaign a bit earlier, but you'd want the girls wrapped up at least by Wednesday at the latest.
Logistics, obviously, but how much promoting can you do?
Yeah.
Like, what's it like if it's all eyes are all, like they're doing a fair bit already. So I think there's like, you can keep asking, but yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that goes into that.
I think like it's not a bad idea, but I think that week should be purely just based around the two teams that have got there. It's really hard.
You don't want to take it away from them.
To put a gather round in there for the females. I mean, I think it's, you know, for all eyes and promoting, it's a fantastic, but I don't think you should be taking it away from the AFL.
It's their week.
You know, it's what happens once a year. Like it's just, you know, and it should be reflected just on those teams. I don't think you need any other.
Maybe do the AFLW gather round during the AFL gather round.
Yeah.
Because that's just as many people.
Potentially maybe in the finals bye.
Yeah.
If their season has started by then, I'm not too sure.
That's what I was saying last week, how they should have the week off before the granny so everyone's fit and ready. Yeah, why not do it then?
They could possibly do it then.
But then no one's there.
But now thinking about it, I think the week should just purely be for both those teams as a reward. No real background noise or anything like that. I'm not talking shit today for I'm just saying like that's a tough, like I know you want more promotion, but leave it up to those two teams to get the thing done. Yeah.
A big one, well not big one, but we witnessed the last sub rule.
It wasn't a
sub.
But
fuck, it'd probably be back again someday.
Someday.
They always do this. And no more bounces at centre bounce.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I feel
it's sad to see it go.
I feel like starting a game because this...
Start the game with one bounce?
To start the game with one bounce.
And then that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Or even just every quarter.
I think one bounce, like you think on grand final day, the perfect bounce, the first one off the rip, it sets the tone, doesn't it?
Every time. I've been getting tingles because you know when you're not at the granny and you get the pre-game, that guy talking about everything and then the guy follows the ball and goes up.
That's the one.
That's history.
That's what you wanted to be a part of. So it's going to be a little bit sad. But
and this year's bounce was good. I remember it. It was actually boom.
Well, I think they should probably just keep the first bounce of the game and for whatever happens after that,
it'd be sad to see the bounce go, but fuck, it would take a lot of booing and
a lot of
and stress off the umpires.
Pull it back. That was you know. So
but that was it. Let's get stuck into it, mate. Off the bat, let's just get in. This is our boys. Hahn Ultra. It is Hahn Super Dry, our moment of the game. There's millions.
Well, I wouldn't mind you talking about this Hahn moment of the game because you spoke about this guy a lot through the podcast in the last couple of weeks. So I wouldn't mind you ripping it off straight off the rip.
Yeah. So mine is, and he didn't get any votes in the normie, but if he kicked one more goal, I reckon he would have. But I want to talk about the two goals.
Well, if they kicked one more, they reckon he would have won it.
Well, that's what
I heard that today. So
yeah. Well, really. Well, that's what I was thinking the other day. Like, if he kicks 5, there's Charlie Cameron, obviously. So his 2 goals were pivotal. And we can talk about Lachie's goal, which was absolutely amazing, all this kind of stuff against, whatever. But they were timely, they needed it, and that's what really got him on a roll. And those goals, the one he took after third quarter, the one where he bounced like he dived along the ground, got it. That was
the
my
one.
moment.
Hey,
that was my. That I feel like that goal was like, fuck, we've got this.
We've got this in the bag, and it was like the first 20 seconds of the last quarter.
Yeah.
Gets that one along the ground, but it was vintage Charlie Cameron, wasn't it?
It was.
Like he saved his best for last, and I feel like the Lions keep doing that. But for him,
it's huge for him.
So he's kicked 52 goals now in the finals. There's only like 23 players in that sort of realm, so he's in there now.
And he's had a quiet year and a quiet last year.
But does it really matter?
But his quietness is still does his team. I bet you like anything the coaches in the four walls just praise him for just doing little things that none of the players are doing, like tackling and pressure and being a leader around the boys. So everyone wants to see him kick 4 or 5 a game.
Yeah,
that's
how we know him.
That's how we know him.
But
he's 4-time leading goal kicker.
For him to save it for the grand final, it doesn't really matter now. He's got a medallion. He kicked 4 goals on grand final day. He'll get to live with that for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And some very important, as you said. I feel like that one at the start of the fourth quarter was sort of that was a moment. The one that the turning point and broke the Geelong Footy Club.
Yeah.
So
it was those 2 goals just in my mind. I was like, bang bang. I was like, okay.
The drop punt into the Snoop Dogg was pretty cool. It was pretty, and that was still game on the line type of stuff, like it was first half. So, well done to Charlie, and well done, gets another premiership medal, and all those people saying that he probably should have got dropped and whatever. Surely eat their words because
Bro, I'll eat my words. I was like, maybe put him back in the VFL for a week and get that confidence back. But
he performed on the biggest day, and that's what you get paid for the big bucks. So Charles,
if he kicks that snap, bro, he's
Hahn
probably got to normie.
Well done.
That's my moment, baby. All right, let's get stuck into it. It is our favourite segment, Joe Ask, and he wants to know, was Lachie made the sub the biggest coaching gamble in history?
Wow.
Now, there's a lot of gambles that come off, and there's a lot of gambles that obviously don't come off.
Well, we're seeing Fags' comments around it.
What was it? Because I've been like licking my words.
I'm either going to look like the biggest genius or I'm going to look like the biggggest idiot, pretty much, in those terms. So
so we had wind of it before everyone else because we were staying at the hotel. We had a lot of like intel shit because not intel, but you pick up
around the boys and whatever. And
so we heard this pretty early, and I was like, I don't know if that's great. So my mindset was play him, and if he does it, and then put the sub on because at least you get probably half out of him before he does it, or it could happen like Pendlebury being the first 5 minutes and then fuck you.
Yeah, so I on this one, I don't know if it's a gamble because it's Lachie Neale.
Yeah.
And I said this before we come into it. I heard Dale Thomas's comments about saying Geelong would be licking their lips. Kane Corn said it would be one of the most reckless decisions to ever, but he
doubled down on it. He still said it. He goes, that's why he's the master. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he did say. But I prior to that, I said Lachie Neale, we seen him play on 1 foot in the last grand final and dominate.
Exactly.
And man, he come on and he just said, "Well, this is why I'm a champion of the game and will be a Hall of Fame legend of the game." I believe.
He didn't say that out his mouth, but that's what happened.
This is what happened. So, he dominated. So, was it a gamble? I think no, because Lachie Neale is a star of our competition. You know what you're going to get from the guy.
And just to see how it all I'm sure Fags, when he was going to bed night before, he's like, okay, that's how it's going to look.
Yeah.
That's how it fucking looked.
Yeah.
Comes on at halftime.
That's how,
does all that.
Does all that.
So, that's perfect scenario.
I think there was only one other player who had more clearances than him on the day. I forgot who it was, but he ended up with 7 clearances in a half, 17, and a bomb from 50, which was massive at the time.
Yeah. And players probably couldn't do that if they played the whole game by then because that was late in the game too.
So if you're asking me if it's a gamble, no, because I'll bet on Lachie Neale every time and I'm sure it'll pay out just like that.
There you go, Jojo. That is it, because was it a gamble? Look, if hindsight, no. Pre-game, I was like, that's a gamble.
Okay.
So
there you go, Joe.
Yeah. All right, now we're on to our next one, mate. This is Muscle Chef, cooked player of the game. And by cooked, I mean who just chefed it up. And maybe didn't get all the votes or didn't get the accolades or the medal around the neck for the normie, but there's a couple of players in there, and I've got we'll agree on one after it.
All right.
But I'll throw out a couple of names. So Harro obviously got votes in the normie.
Yeah.
That guy, during the game, we were pretty getting pretty pissed, but I still stand by saying he's probably the best defender ever.
Yeah.
We both said this stuff.
Yeah. So
Harro, we can talk about him. Clugger. Now he might have got a couple cheapies late, but fuck. He is one of the best players.
Still have to finish your work. It's a bigger stage. And
it's breathing space too. Like you're kicking him and then it's out of reach. Yeah. So we got Clugger there. One that I want to throw in there is Darcy Gardner.
Yes.
So I know within the four walls, and we saw the boys today, and we're talking about him again because when he was getting his tattoo, he still had to play on probably one of the best players in the comp, in Jeremy Cameron, regardless of breaking his arm at whatever stage. He
was doing the job on him anyway.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying. The way that he was playing on him prior to that,
it didn't matter.
Didn't matter if it didn't happen at all.
Yeah, look, any one of those players could be, but I'm going to take over here. I'm going to go with Harris Andrews.
Yeah.
He just deserves it because of his whole final series as well. Yeah. Look, after the first loss, and then he just said, "Hey, boys," and I spoke. I'll let you in some inside info. I spoke to his dad, and I said, "How's Harris feeling?" And this was at the Gold Coast game.
Yeah.
And his dad goes, he texted me and said, "We're built for this."
Oh, really?
And then from there on in, he just dominated and took over, and nearly one of the best finals players.
Yeah, Gary
apart from Will Ashcroft, just nutting him. So, Harris Andrews, he deserves all the flowers. He was huge. He probably could have been Norm Smith on the day.
I don't know what else he had to do to get it.
He gave Shannon Neale a bath, and I'll say that openly. He smacked him up.
Yeah.
Harris has got to be the guy, and I've pumped him up so much the last 3 weeks, so I'm going to finish off pumping up the big chief, and he is the Muscle Chef Cook player of the game. He was so good.
And I think we should even give a couple mentions. Let me pull up the stats because there's a couple boys, these players who might not get pats on the back and stuff. So obviously Ashcroft had 32. Jasper Fletcher.
Yeah.
That's one. I couldn't even think of his name.
Yeah.
Jasper Fletcher, 29 dozzies, 517 metres gained, but he's had 8 marks. But the ones that I remember was like...
It's his ball use.
In the deep defence by himself too, like just saving the day.
Yeah, just some of his decision-making. Like you sit from the crowd, it's easy to make decisions for people, but the ones he makes, you can't even see up in the crowd. They're incredible, some of the kicks he's pulling off.
So it's third year, third granny. He's got 2 premierships. What kind of, where's his ceiling?
Well,
and he's not just playing in a team as a fill-in. He's cementing himself.
I think we're going to see a pretty good resume from him, over his career. And I think the ceiling is that he's going to be in a pretty good team to keep making grannies. So right now he's in a good space.
Fucking oath. But the best thing about this kid is he's just so level-headed. I hadn't spoke to him much prior to that night after the game, and at the Pullman, just having a chat to him, was like, fuck, he's got his head on his shoulders. He's obviously the son of a gun type thing, but he's going to be very good. So went on Jasper, that was mad dogness.
Zorks had 28, 717 metres gain. That guy, when's the end? When is the end? But it's not near, I can tell you that.
I don't know.
He's awesome. He's an awesome footballer to watch.
So your normie that you had for the going into it?
Zach Bailey.
3 goals, 6.
Yeah.
He could have had the almightiest game in a grand final.
So I thought about this too, and if they had lost, how hard is he taking it?
Oh.
Say they lose by 2 goals.
How many did he miss that were
Well, I spoke to him a few at
3 or 4?
He's there was a couple of bread and butter I would normally finish. So
minimum.
He's what was I doing? I was I don't know, mate.
It's not like he wasn't trying to.
No.
Maybe just didn't hit his foot the right way.
He kicked 0-4 in the first quarter, had 6
1
touches.
1 goal, 5 at a stage, and then finished with 3-6. But he, you had him. You've had him for every medal this year that we could actually put someone on a medal.
Yeah.
And 3-6.
He would have won it if he had a kick.
Fucking mate.
Kick 2 more goals, maybe. I don't know.
If he kicks 5-3, he's getting it. If you kick 5 goals, you're getting the Norm Smith. But he got a few votes and all that kind of stuff. And then, Josh Dunkley's probably his quietest game for the year.
Yeah.
But doesn't matter.
Can't wait to watch the end of the
when
they make that video and stuff,
yeah.
and the players go into depth, and
you find out so much,
so much more, and they explain it so much more. So I cannot wait to watch that.
Yeah. So we done our Norm Smith votes pretty much. You said, I guess the muscle chef player of the thing was Harro.
Yeah. Look, and looking back, I thought Harro was gonna win it on the day, but then looking back on it, I watched Will, and he some of these things he did. I can see why he was voted Norm Smith, because some of them were incredible.
1 goal, 32, 10 clearances.
And the ball use, man. So he was the guy in front of Neale.
Oh, but Tom Atkins had 10 as well.
Some of the ball use, man, was just incredible. Outside of the boot type of kick, setting them up. Early days, he looked the one to set the tone for Brisbane. So well deserved.
That was a player that was a player that he needs to have a monster.
And he had a monster final series. So well done to him on winning the award as well. Yeah. Well done, Will. It was awesome. So
did you see? Was he out after?
Yeah, he was out. Will was out.
So. Man, might just blur for me some of that night. All right, but we'll get stuck into the game, and we can talk about this. We can go in depth about this stuff now. We've covered a few topics already, but let's just talk about this. Literally nobody, and when I say nobody, gave the Lions a chance.
No.
And I interviewed Rayner today on a couple of the boys, and I was asking him about that, and he's like, I think he apparently it's funny because I don't know if it's true or not, but he's like, I think Fags told a few of the the close reporters and stuff to like say they got no chance. Just to get that out there and make Geelong feel a bit better than they were.
Well, it's funny because that's funny they say that because when I was talking to the boys, they're saying like the close friends of mine, like Matho, like don't pump us up in the podcast. Like,
they did tell you to say that, didn't they?
You know, like
so that's what I'm thinking. It's probably a thing.
Said into everyone that you know that we're going to struggle and whatever. So yeah, maybe it was a thing. I don't know.
If FaZe has gone out and done that, you just got to love that shit.
You do, and clearly it's
smart motherfucker. Though.
And well, we were the guys that tipped them. I tipped them all year.
Yeah.
And
you didn't tip against them once.
Not once. And surely enough, it comes out them winning a flag.
How about all the shit we copped for our pre-final stuff?
Yep.
And then look at the granny mark.
If you look at the granny, we've got the two teams meeting in the granny right, and we got the prediction of the grand final right. So that is all that matters, everybody. So eat your words.
Yeah, go eat a bag.
More impressive that we actually lost all the tips and still got the
two granny teams right.
Two granny teams right.
Now, I was on, like kind of goes hand in hand that I was speaking to one of the Lions recruiters. He was talking about it works in their favour being the underdogs and all the pressure being on the Cats to perform. I feel like that was a real thing because the Cats came into it like looking like the most unbeatable team that we've ever, just from here talking to people and hearing stuff and reading the media. Like
you can't help buying that you thought they were going to be flag. Well, they were flag favourites, right?
100%.
Yeah,
yeah. For the whole finals campaign.
Yeah,
like the way even 5 weeks before that when they were just demolishing shit teams, even like they just looked so good. Then you just look at like the scores even at halftime. So
it's first time since 1909.
Your number 36.
Yeah,
and then to go into the last quarter and the 90 points scored in total. It's a record, right?
Brisbane kicked 9-5 in the last quarter, the most ever in a grand final.
Yeah. So just like because you've said for a long, long time, it's always Brisbane Lions are the best scoring team and scoring quick team.
They're so potent when they do it, Rob. You've seen it firsthand. And what was a blur for me was the last quarter.
I couldn't keep up.
I wasn't, annihilated in drinking or piss or what. I just couldn't keep up with the cheering and the scores, the back to back. I was like, not another one. They were kicking them from ridiculous angles, and but this is what this Lion team does when they get rolling. Like they've had 32 scoring shots.
Yeah.
Exactly the same that Geelong had to them in the qualifying final. But yeah, look,
I saw a little thing from Zorks, and I was speaking to Zorks this morning.
Yeah.
The play where Lachie kicks a goal, he's talking about how they knew from the first encounter in the finals what their game style was like and what they come up against, and they love to get the ball going forward and beating you quickly. For them to I know they got to dissect it, but the way they just changed so much, like in the space of how many weeks, like a few weeks, is mind.
You feel like they had the upper hand because Geelong beat them. So you can kind of go, right, now it's our punch to see how you got us, how we're going to respond. And Zork talks about that moment, like they want to keep coming. Yeah. He come off a player and go,
shouldn't have, but he had to go.
I hope they miss his handball and they miss it, and that's when the chain comes into Lachie Neale, and he still had to bang it from 50, as Zork said. But for him to realise moments like that in the game, like you got 100,000 people there screaming, going, hang on, I know my plan, I know how to execute it.
Yeah,
is why these players are professional and get paid the big bucks because that's what they wanted coming into the game.
Talking about it but doing it.
But doing it's a different thing.
You're going against the grain of what you've been taught all year.
Yeah.
And we were at the club when we had just one game plan pretty much, is search footy, get it going forward and turn up. And to see that they've just turned to the team who can just change tactics and adhere to team things like that.
Especially on the biggest day.
Because you can just revert back to what you fucking know.
Yeah. And to execute, it's a different thing on game day to execute. But yeah, look, talking to the boys and after the granny, I said, because I said I didn't see a margin coming like this today.
No.
And
so what was it in the end, 50-something?
The boys kept saying, I knew we were going to win. Yeah. I had a feeling I knew we were going to win.
That's opposite to me. And I wanted them to win, but I didn't feel...
And I said, by that much? They're like, no, I'm not. But I felt like we were going to win. And I thought, Jesus, what's going on in those four walls? I mean, obviously there's going to be belief. They
just know.
They just straight up I knew we were going to win. So they had the plan down pat. And obviously grand final day, the execution was perfect. This team gets it right on grand final days.
That's what's scary about them because they're obviously getting Draper.
Yeah.
Oscar Allen apparently is done.
Yeah.
It's done deal.
He's coming.
They're getting two really, really good players coming to the team. And I know they're going to lose some players in a trade or whatever it may be. But I can't see them not being in there.
Look what's loading in the pen. There's a few players loading, waiting to come back.
So we got Kitty Coleman.
Yeah, who was their best grip.
2023 best on ground
player
for us. Berry was obviously like fucking
very close to playing.
Stiff it can be. Like, and he put his hand up and that.
And he's in the best 22, right?
far.
And then you've got Jackson Payne.
Yeah.
Who was having an almighty year.
I think people forget fucking Jack Payne.
Yeah, I think you forget about it, but he was having an almighty year, and the boys kept telling me every time we were talking to him in the podcast, like, mate, Paney. And I was like, what's going on, like in the reviews or something? Like, mate, in the reviews, he's just
a man-child and bitches everyone.
He's just setting them up well. So,
and although that mate like Harro can fill that void and do multiple roles, with Dizzy coming in and stuff like that, but like Paney just being there as well, like
it just in height, like enhances Harris's role. You know, like he can drop off a bit, like it just. But what they did on Granny Day was
so. They've also got Link McCarthy, who, when he's up and going, and he's had a lot of injuries, he had the option to try and play for the second half of the year or just get another year. So, obviously nobody took, but he is a very, very good player when he's in the team.
He's what Jamie Elliott is to Collingwood, but to Brisbane. He is that type of player for us.
Yeah.
And in the grand final year that he becomes winning the BNF after 7 rounds before he does his
He was too, wasn't he?
And that's in the grand final team that year. So you can throw that in there if you want, if everyone's forgotten about that. And then you've got Answorth.
Yeah, big nose.
Who was having some sort of year. Just locking down the best small forwards.
He got fucking sniped by the best sniper in the world.
So he would have been there as well. So they're just loading, and they're in such a good window right now.
So in summary, this team's only going to get better.
Yeah, you could only think.
So could we...
8 players under 22 in the grand final.
Yeah, it's crazy. Could we be potentially witnessing the greatest team ever, or is that just hold your horses, Rob Dog?
No, we could be potentially.
Even Kane Corns was sucking them off crazy amounts a couple of days ago. I saw he's like dynasty talking.
Yeah, we're talking. Like, well, it is a dynasty already. They've been the 3. Exactly. They just didn't win the first.
Yeah.
Maybe if Will Ashcroft had been there, they could have won it. Maybe, but
could it be the greatest team that we ever? What do you need to see? Another win? Three-peat, and that could be one of the, go down the convo?
Three-peat. I think it'll be in the convo.
Yeah.
Just because of how hard the game's getting. They had the hardest roster.
Yeah, the hardest fixture this year.
So that's why I would say it's probably one of the best grand final wins ever over a season.
That's what I was saying today too, the boys.
And what they had to go through, hardest roster, injuries, losing players late, the Lachie Neale story, I think it's just one of the, Joe Danaher, people forget about that. He wasn't there. Imagine
if he was.
You got to add that to the story.
They would take the piss if he was playing.
They'd take the absolute piss. So I think it could be one of the best grand final wins for a season, 2025 season ever.
Coming up against a juggernaut in Geelong, and they won one in 2022, so they relatively same team. I think it's like 8 players new to that team. I don't know what the odds were going into the game, but they're the money odds would have been way favour of them. So to see the way that they won and won by that margin, it's just scary to see.
And their last 6 weeks, they had to play pretty much top 8 teams.
Every top 8 team.
It was like a final for them. So there's a chance of burnout. Boys, we've just been hammered and hammered and hammered. But they went the long way as well. They went the long way.
They don't want to go the easy way. 2023, what way was it to get there? Was it long?
Yeah, it was long. They finished 5th.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They just get us in there.
But this season was a hard season just to even make finals. So now, I feel like they said it was a better win this year. They did say it was better than the Sydney one.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that because they did the most perfect game last year, but this one was it was better to watch because it was arm wrestle for till 4th quarter.
Yeah.
So that was better for me to watch anyway.
Yeah.
Now there's going to be a few names getting thrown around to get traded and stuff. Obviously Bailey's been fucking making all the headways.
Yeah, he's staying.
He's 100% staying. If you leave now after that and you've got one,
he's got another year.
Yeah. So I'm saying just not even Bailey. I'm talking about if I was the Brisbane Lions. Oh yeah. If I was a player, I would say, let me try a fucking three-peat. Yeah, if that doesn't work out and we don't even make it a grand final, 100%. I'll see what's up.
100%.
So that's what I'll be doing. You're still going to get paid 100%. Heavily regardless of where the fuck you are. So, Bailey, I think you know the answer to that. So
he knows.
I'll see you next year, bro. Starcevich is obviously another big one. Saw him today. Got his tattoo today.
Yeah.
Got his debut tattoo, actually, mind you. His first tattoo ever. He's being thrown to Essendon and WA. So, I don't know. Watch that space.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I haven't asked him.
And if he does, it's fair enough.
Yeah, mate, fuck.
You're
when I say fuck, it's fair enough.
We want to keep him. If you want to stay stars, please stay, bro. But we
stars.
understand. We understand.
You're an absolute weapon. But players will get delisted.
Players have got to go. That's what happens when you're in a good team. You get poached.
It shows that squads win premierships, and that has never been 100%. True. You look at who wasn't playing purely for not being picked. There's like 4 blokes. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Crazy.
Like, think about it. There's 45 blokes on a team, 46 or whatever it may be. We were not scraping the bottom of the barrel to try and find players, but we lost so many good players, and to try and replace them, they came in and played their fucking role.
Ty Gallop, man, 6 games, grand final.
Ty Gallop, Sam Marshall.
Did so much, and I can only feel like that finals campaign is just going to set his career up to be a fucking good footballer.
If he doesn't have confidence for that, Ty, and he didn't come today to get the tattoo, all good.
Yeah, he might be feeling a bit sore.
I think he might be a bit sorry. Apparently, those boys, the young boys have been leading the way.
Yeah, good. You have to see that. You have to.
But, the best 22 mentality this year, like next soldier up, like injury, someone got up. Yeah. It just goes to show that the fucking squad's lit.
And mind you, like being a grand final team, you are the team that's hunted, and that just makes it 10 times.
Everyone's going to try and poach.
You are the benchmark, and to come out on game day, that's what the teams people want to beat. Like you're the let's beat these guys. That's the benchmark. So for them to like win games, it's even harder.
That's why back-to-backs are fucked.
Yeah.
And like just being 3 in a row. After they made the grand final, obviously Collingwood won by a bee's dick. 4 points from not being 3-peats.
Yeah.
So they still would have been targeted for the last 2 years in a row.
100%, bro.
So I'm excited to see, obviously with the inclusions, all this kind of shit, like how they're going to go.
Yeah.
But fuck, you got to think, mate, like this is, we're witnessing, and the best thing about it, like none of them have got egos yet.
No.
When I say yet, because you never know. But all those boys are fucking great blokes.
Oh, they're the best, bro.
So, and to be honest, the club, how good was the club like with us this week?
The best, like
even like stopping them, seeing them in the hotel lobby and talking to them,
sorting us favours. Yeah. It's just a good club. Like it's just why they're going so well. Why it's a destination club. They've just got it right at the moment. Like everything's going right for them, and so it should.
Another one I got here is like obviously this is the guy that I love the most. And I was asking a few of them, and especially like I asked them the same question I'm about to ask you, but Hugh McCluggage, and we've already spoken about it, but I just wanted to bring this up. When they see the Simon Blacks and the John O'Browns and just the 3-peat team, we see them a lot when we're at the club.
Yeah.
You know how like you see Black and you're like, fuck, it's Simon Black.
Yeah.
Like I tell Emily like, like he's one of the best ever.
Yeah.
Is McCluggage becoming Simon Black?
Yes. Well, like those guys are, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so, I asked them, when you see these guys, what do you have to still get on your knees for them? And they're like, oh, like it's a weird.
I know where you're coming from, and yeah, like the next crop through, we'll be seeing.
They'll be doing that to them.
They'll be doing that to them. They're in
10, 20 years time. They're that category.
Yeah, and in the modern game to go back to back, like the way the game gets played now, it's so hard. It's right up there with
when Richmond went nuts and went on their little rampage. I was like, that's never going to happen again. Like, it's so hard.
It's so hard
when we're playing in the finals and we just weren't ready.
But yeah, so the next crop that comes through, like once all that crop is finished up and done, like they'll be looking at those boys going,
brother, this bloke's played over 200 games already.
Yeah,
like. And he's got ages in the game.
He's got ages.
He's going to play 400.
And he's a smooth mover. We'd said, if he was a car, he's the Rolls Royce, and you buy it every day because you're not going to lose. You just won't lose on this guy. And his grand final, he got tagged, he broke him, he bounced back from the next game. So regardless if Mullins, you drop the tag or whatever, it's still you still started there. McCluggage ends up with 17-4. It's just the way it goes. Mullins, so he won that one on the biggest day.
Yeah. Yeah,
and nothing against that guy. It's just the way the day went. You know,
when we say this shit, we don't give a fuck about. Like, we're not saying Mullins, you're a shit cunt. We're just saying Mullins, like you got beaten by Bedman in the day. He knows that. You're not gonna cry about it.
No.
All right, Matho. What's next for a rip through it? What are we doing? What's the go? Because obviously, AFL season's done.
Yeah,
done and dusted. We got the BNF tomorrow night. Obviously not going to that, but there's a BNF tomorrow night. Everyone's doing their mad. Like, Lions are doing the Mad Monday. Yeah. Obviously Geelong. Then we're just going to get into it. What are we doing? Are we going to interview guests?
We'll get into the guests. We'll get a couple of grand final stories and off-season stories. And then obviously the trade period, we'll try to keep up with that and talk about who's coming in, who's coming out.
This might be the biggest trade period. Like, the names getting thrown around. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Petrarca.
Huge. Kerno to Geelong. Yeah. That might get him a flag.
There might be some names that you just see and go, what? That actually goes down. Yeah, and nothing happens till the last day. But
so we'll keep talking footy for a long time. Yeah. We'll still be there.
Better. We're going to get the boys in at some stage.
And we'll get the interviews, like the grand final. Like, you have to do the grand final interviews. Like,
yeah. Oh, mate, we're getting, so who we had from the grand? We had Berry, Kai, Logan. Is that
Cal.
Like that's 4 boys who played in it again.
Yeah, so.
Like, damn. Oh, besides Bears.
So we'll run a couple of repeats.
But hey, we're not going anywhere. It's still going to do 2 a week. Maybe, so we'll try and get a guest on weekly. If not, we're doing it on FaceTime. We've got all this shit set up now, so we're laughing. But
might do a few live ones where you guys can throw in some comments.
Live
and,
streams.
Why everything's a little bit more quieter now. We'll do some live streams.
Yep.
So... Yeah, look forward to that. Definitely don't go anywhere.
I do want to give a massive shout out to our sponsors, and we have to because we got Joey Fortune right here. He gave us the opportunity to do it all year.
Yeah, so Joey Fortune is our main guy. He
sent us down to Melbourne too.
He set us up. He sent us down to Melbourne. Set up the amazing week giving away cash. The fans loved it. Yeah. We got to give back, which felt good for us on the back of Joey Fortune. So thank you for that.
Shout out to him, Hahn. Hahn super dry.
Hahn jumping on for the final series, and we hope to see plenty more of you guys next year. That was just an early little teaser of the Hahn. But yeah,
Muscle Chef got on. So it's just getting bigger and better, and we're gonna smash it. We don't need any accolades, don't need any pats on the back, but I just checked some DM requests, and it was flooded because I hadn't checked it, and it was like tons of positive feedback. So we appreciate that. I'll get onto it.
And we'll get back to giving back to you guys as much as we can because we felt the love in Melbourne. Honestly, it was overwhelming with the people saying how good the podcast was for them. And a lot of Brisbane, which of course we love, and we got the boys on, and we are a Brisbane base. So
we can be anywhere you want us, but we're going to get some people on. We just saw Jamara touchdown in Gold Coast. He sent that's fucking... So, the reporting was not it.
But thanks everyone. It's been a wild year. We'll keep coming back at yous, but we got some fun stuff coming up for sure. So.
Thanks, Matto. Thanks, hey mate. He's been great. It's his first year doing this stuff, and if we went back from the first episode to now, my God, you have grown. Yeah, but it's development. Oh shit, it's development. So no media training involved. It's just repetition. And so it's been a great year. We're going to keep going. Obviously, just a trade period. We're going to go to, we've got some KO stuff coming up, the boxing shit. So we've got lots of stuff we can do. So we're excited. If you're here, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're listening, just give us a follow on Spotify. We don't really give a fuck because we're not about that, but we appreciate it anyway. Peace out. Peace out. Got to turn the books. Oh my God. I'm joking, bro. Oh, I was going to say.